Chapter 15, Frost and Forgiveness. Jack led Holly through the winding, snow-covered paths of Mary Hollow, his steps growing heavier as they approached the outskirts of town. The cheerful lights and festive sounds faded, replaced by a silent, frozen landscape. They stopped before an old, iron gate, its bars twisted into intricate ice crystals, the hinges creaking softly as Jack pushed it open. The Frost family home stood before them, its once grand facade now overgrown with magical ice plants, their crystalline leaves shimmering under the faint light. Icicles hung like frozen tears from the eaves, each one glinting like a tiny, frozen dagger, casting fractured shadows on the snow below. The windows were coated in a thick layer of frost, obscuring the interior with intricate, icy patterns that seemed to dance and shift in the cold breeze, as if whispering secrets to the wind. The garden was a wild tangle of ice-encased bushes and frozen flowers, their colors muted beneath the crystalline shells, like nature paused in a deep, frozen slumber, waiting for a warmth that never came. A heavy silence blanketed the area, broken only by the distant whisper of the wind and the occasional soft crack of ice shifting, adding to the air of abandonment and melancholy that surrounded the home, a silent testament to its forgotten past. Jack's breath misted in the cold air, his eyes reflecting the icy landscape like mirrors to a world he'd left behind, a world that still haunted his dreams. "I haven't been back here since I was exiled." His voice was barely a whisper, the pain of his past etched into every word, echoing through the frozen garden. His gaze lingered on the familiar details, the old oak tree where he used to climb, the frozen fountain where he'd skated as a child, each one a reminder of the life he had lost, the memories both bitter and sweet. Holly stepped closer, her hand slipping into his, her warmth a stark contrast to the biting cold. "We're here together, Jack. You're not alone." Her voice was soft yet firm, a beacon of warmth and comfort in the frozen surroundings, a promise that she was there to stay. She looked up at him, her green eyes filled with determination and support, a silent vow that she would stand by him no matter what they faced, that his past would not consume him. They ventured into the house, the door creaking open reluctantly, revealing a scene frozen in time. The furniture was coated in a thick layer of dust and ice, the air filled with the faint scent of peppermint and forgotten memories, a chilling reminder of the life that once thrived within these walls. Jack's gaze lingered on the family portraits lining the walls, the faces of his parents and siblings staring back at him, their smiles a stark contrast to the sadness in his eyes. Each portrait was a window to the past, a reminder of the love and laughter that once echoed through these halls, now replaced by the cold silence of abandonment. Holly squeezed his hand, her presence a silent support as he confronted the ghosts of his past. She guided him deeper into the house, her intuition leading them to a grand study. The room was dominated by a massive desk, its surface covered in a thick layer of ice, like a frozen sheet of glass reflecting the dim light. Behind it, a floor-to-ceiling window revealed a frozen waterfall, its cascade suspended in midair, a testament to the magic that once thrived here, a silent sentinel standing guard over the secrets of the past. Bookshelves lined the walls, their contents shrouded in a layer of frost, the knowledge within them frozen in time, waiting to be rediscovered. Jack's breath hitched as he approached the desk, his fingers tracing the icy surface, as if trying to reconnect with the memories locked within. "This was my father's study. He loved this room, the view of the waterfall." His voice trailed off, his eyes distant with memories, each one a fragment of the life he'd left behind. He recalled the countless hours spent here, learning from his father, the warmth of their bond a stark contrast to the cold that now filled the room. He could almost hear his father's voice, the echo of his laughter, the wisdom in his words. Holly stepped beside him, her hand resting on his arm, her touch a gentle anchor pulling him back to the present. "We'll find the fragment, Jack. And maybe, in the process, you'll find some peace." Her voice was a gentle whisper, her words a balm to his wounded soul, a promise that healing was possible, that the past could be laid to rest. She looked around the room, her eyes taking in the details, her mind already working on the puzzle before them, her intuition guiding her through the clues hidden in the ice. A sudden noise from the doorway startled them. Evergreen stood there, his eyes reflecting the icy surroundings, his expression unreadable. "I thought I'd find you here," he said, his voice echoing in the silent room, a harsh reminder of the reality they'd left behind. His gaze flicked between Jack and Holly, a mix of emotions playing across his face, the weight of their shared history heavy in the air. Jack tensed, his grip tightening on Holly's hand, his body instinctively preparing for a confrontation. "Evergreen. What are you doing here?" His voice was guarded, the pain of their past conflicts lingering between them, a chasm that seemed impossible to bridge. His eyes narrowed, a mix of suspicion and hope warring within him, the possibility of reconciliation a fragile thread that could easily snap. Evergreen stepped into the room, his gaze sweeping over the frozen furnishings, each one a silent witness to the passage of time. "I came to help, Jack. I owe you that much." His voice was sincere, the harsh lines of his face softening as he looked at his brother, a glimmer of the bond they once shared shining through. He took a deep breath, his shoulders squaring as if bracing for a battle, but this time, it was a battle against his own pride and past mistakes. Holly stepped forward, her voice gentle yet firm, a mediator in the silent battle of wills. "We could use your help, Evergreen. But first, I think you and Jack need to talk." She glanced at Jack, her eyes filled with understanding and support, a silent encouragement for him to face his past. She knew the importance of this moment, the potential for healing and unity that lay within their reconciliation. The brothers faced each other, the air heavy with unspoken words and shared history, a tangible tension that seemed to crackle between them. Jack's gaze softened, his voice barely a whisper, a bridge slowly extending across the chasm. "I missed you, Evergreen. I missed our family." His words hung in the air, a fragile offering of peace, a hope for a new beginning. Evergreen's eyes glistened, his voice choked with emotion, a mirror to Jack's own pain. "I missed you too, Jack. I'm sorry for everything. I let my pride and anger cloud my judgment." His words were raw, a confession that laid bare his regrets and desires for forgiveness. He looked at Jack, his expression filled with a mix of hope and fear, the possibility of redemption a delicate balance that could tip either way. The room seemed to hold its breath, the frozen surroundings a silent witness to the brothers' reconciliation, a testament to the power of forgiveness and understanding. Holly watched them, her heart swelling with hope and warmth, the bond between them strengthening with each word, a bridge slowly mending. She felt a sense of anticipation, a knowledge that this moment was a turning point, a step towards a brighter future for them all. Suddenly, a glint of light caught her eye. She turned towards the window, her breath catching as she saw the fragment encased in a block of never-melting ice within the frozen waterfall. "Jack, Evergreen, look." She pointed towards the window, her voice filled with excitement and urgency, a call to action that broke the spell of their emotional reunion. Her eyes widened as she took in the sight, her mind already racing with plans and possibilities. The brothers turned, their eyes widening as they saw the fragment, a tangible goal that united them in a common purpose. Jack's voice was filled with determination, a commander rallying his troops. "We need to work together to retrieve it." His gaze met Evergreen's, a silent understanding passing between them, a pact forged in the heat of their shared resolve. He felt a surge of energy, a renewed sense of purpose that filled him with determination and hope. Evergreen nodded, his voice steady and resolved, a soldier ready for battle. "Together, Jack. Like old times." His gaze held Jack's, a silent promise of unity and support, a vow that they would face this challenge side by side. He felt a sense of rightness, a knowledge that this was the path they were meant to take, a chance to rebuild the bond they had lost. As they prepared to face the challenge, a sudden burst of light filled the room. A magical message materialized before them, its letters shimmering with urgency, a summons that demanded immediate attention. Holly read it aloud, her voice filled with concern, a herald of trouble brewing. "We are urgently needed at the town greenhouse. Something's gone wrong." Her eyes scanned the message, her brow furrowing as she took in the implications, her mind already shifting to the new problem at hand, her intuition alerting her to the potential dangers that lay ahead. The brothers shared a resolute glance, their fresh unity a pillar of fortitude against the obscure trial. Together, they pivoted towards the exit, their footfalls resonating through the icy home as they abandoned the specters of yesteryears and strode into the now, braced for whatever awaited. The atmosphere brimmed with resolve and purpose, an unspoken pledge that they would confront this new test side by side, united in their mission to safeguard their home and loved ones.